Welcome back to Rusty Jeep. How's it been? The last time I talked to you, I was about to start changing the linkage out of this Jeep to a cable system. Now, as you can see here, I have the linkage and I have a cable system. I just want to go quickly over what cable system I got and what parts are replacing what. First piece is, this is what connects to your transfer case. Some people will have a U-shape. This thing sucks to take off. This is what I'm replacing it with, and it's a pretty hefty piece of steel, machined very well. And you're going to ask me, what company did I choose? I chose the cheapest company I could find, and that was Steinjager. Sounds like Jägermeister, but screw it. It looks pretty good so far. That piece is pretty good. The only problem I have with this kit so far, I'm about to install it, is this is the factory piece that goes onto your body, to your tub. This is the piece that they replace it with. Well, you see how this has rubber bushings on it, and there's some curvature. You see how this is straight as a plate of steel? That's what it is. So I went out and I got 4 rubber washers, and then you're going to be, why did I get these? Well, let me take a look. Let me get my nuts. There they are. Okay, this is the bolt they give you to connect that plate to your tub. Look at that little washer. The hole in my tub is almost the same size as that washer. This is the size of the factory washer, so I'm going to use this instead of that, and I'm going to use a rubber bushing in between the plate and the tub. And other than that, I think the kit's pretty good. Cable's a cable. Yep, it's a cable. It's the cheapest kit out there. It's going to do the same thing, and be honest with you, other than spending a couple bucks on the washers, I think we're going to be fine. So, you know, let's put this fucker on, okay? Let's go. I want to quickly show you what I'm talking about with this one bolt and washer. The only thing I really don't like about this kit, you see, there's a little bit of rust there, but you take this bolt, put in any of these holes. Yes, does that fit? Yes, but that's putting a lot of pressure on a small area. So all I'm doing is replacing that washer with a bigger washer, and look at that. You know, invest in a couple, cents a washer, and I think this is a lot better kit. Plus with the bushing, I think we'll be all right. So let's get underneath here and put this fucker on. Now this next part would help if you have a friend. I have nephews and nieces, so that's who I'm using. Another added benefit for these rubber washers is, let me grab this camera, I'm going to show you, is right here. I'm going to be editing this shit off left and right. You put the washer on this plate right here, and it's actually going to hold that nut in a little bit more. So if you are doing it by yourself, I think this would actually make your life a lot easier. Because now, well, in theory, what we're going to do, sorry about lighting and all the other shit, but, in theory, what we're going to do is put this plate on right there. Okay. Well, let me get these bolts on and I'll be right back. Welcome back. Now, I got the plate on and I got the bracket on, and I made a couple little videos. I'm going to chuck those because I want to go over some issues I had putting the kit in that would help you out while you're installing it. First issue is a minor issue, but it annoyed the shit out of me. If you watch their video for installation, they're going to put that top cable through, take the nuts off, and then they slide the nut back on. Yeah, you can't do that. You see these little boots? We got one at the end and one at the beginning. Take those off first because the bolt doesn't go off the boot. Like I said, it's a small issue, but it annoys the shit out of me because when you're underneath a Jeep and, not all of us have lifts, it's annoying. So once you did that, I got that top cable in there pretty easily. Second thing that annoyed me, this cable is different than their video. Their video is like a grayish cable. This cable is a dick. This thing is so fucking hard to bend. If you look at it, it's crooked like a porn star. I bent it. I really put all my pressure into bending that thing, and you have to get this on a certain angle, and the angle is going downward, and it might not look like it, but you have to push all the way up. And now the problem being is it's a good chance of fucking up your threads, because what happens is you're pushing on an angle and there's so much pressure when you're pushing through that hole, you can actually, bend your threads. So be super careful when you're putting this in not to bend your threads, because if you do that, getting this bolt back on and tightening this up is going to be a bitch. Another thing with the instruction wise to put in that I noticed was on the top over here, you're going to is different than the bottom cable. You notice there's some thread showing here. The thread showing on the cable, the side of the cable, that should be on the bottom. Where there's no thread at the end, that should be the top. That's what the video showed. They didn't say anything, but I just love how they just kept on cutting on their video. When they put this cable through this hole, they said, put a little pressure on it, and then they cut in the things in here. Yeah, put a little pressure if you're Hercules, but if you're a normal person, put a lot of fucking pressure. Next thing is, when you're doing this, you're going to think your angle's off, but once you get that in, and see how no boot, you're going to come down here. I saw a video and the guy complained that he didn't have four-wheel drive low. Four-wheel drive low is this bracket on here. It's all the way back. So as long as you can't push this bracket all the way back, you're in four-wheel drive low. Don't forget there is neutral, and I think that's why people, when they put these kits on, don't have four-wheel drive low. Make sure this is all the way back, and then mock it up, and then I put some screws in here. I tested it out, and I'm hitting all my gears. I'm going to show you when I go back up about this bolt. Okay, now we're on top. I just want to go over a quick little tip. If you are doing this and you happen to have your console out, like I did, and I did a video about how to take the shifter out, but I was taking this stuff out already. That top bolt on that bracket connected to the transfer case is so much easier to get to from the top. So if you have this plate off, you just take your wrench with this ratchet end, drop it down there, and you can get that bolt out so much faster than from the bottom if you have that solid plate on your transfer case like I do on the 2000 TJ. So this worked out great for me because this plate was off. I dropped it down there. Literally took me 10-15 seconds with this to get that bolt off, instead of 45 minutes of pissing and moaning down there. Okay, there's a helpful little hint for me. Don't even bother trying to get in here and doing this bolt or the bolt up there. It's you can't do it without a ratchet, ratchet end. So don't bother. So other than the cable being fucking dickish to me and almost fucking up my threads and the boot issue, it wasn't that bad. It just, I think if you watch this video and watch their video, it'll help you out a little bit more, because those were the issues I had with this particular installation. Now that I have this all set up, I'm going to do the final installations and then put this my pan back on and call it a day. But I went through all the gears and they all line up and they're all doing pretty good. I mean, again, the difference in price for kits, I still would have bought the kit. I just wish that cable wasn't such a dick to me. It was just, really, really hard. And I'm not over exaggerating. It's just super hard. But let's see what happens, and let me finish putting this together. You're replacing that with the cable. Cable looks strong. It looks nice. I had no problem with the cable. It's a cable. Okay, you fuck up a cable,